Okay, who is ready to see the most dangerous magic act ever performed on BookTube? I need to take a good thumbnail, okay? So, bring it on. Right, okay. I don't know how to do this. I really want to hold up two massive stacks of my horror books. But, like, how do I hold up both of them? Like, this is massive. Like, something's gonna fall. Hang on. What if I try both at the same time? Like this. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think he's doing it. I think he's doing it. Okay. Is there too much glare? Oh, fuck. I think there's too much glare. It would be better. Oh, I think I'm going to have to just suffer the children. Okay. How's my hair? How's my hair? Fuck, I don't like it. Oh, okay. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Ooh, Becca. Oh, and I didn't drop a single one. And now that the scariest part of this video is out of the way, let's get into Emboss or Toss, the Halloween special. Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Gavin Reads It All. This is episode 7 of Emboss or Toss, and this will be predominantly a horror kind of thriller. I don't have that many thrillers, but like a horror thriller special. And I do want to try and read as many of the horror books that I own. I don't think I'll get through all of them, but I do want to get a good chunk knocked out, you know? Not the best angle, but I'm not picking these up again. But I did pull off pretty much all of the horror books that I own that I still have yet to read. And I want to try and randomly pick any of these books so that I can get through as many as I can in this next week. There are definitely books in these two stacks that I would prefer to read over others, but that is what makes Emboss or Toss so great. I get to kind of like randomly pick books that I may not have gravitated towards, but have been on my shelves for a long time. And if I like the book, I have to emboss it. But if I don't like the book, then I toss it. And that is essentially the aim of the game. Oh, and I also want to say as well, I did get a few comments on some of my previous like Emboss or Toss and Stay Across My Bookshelves videos, asking if I could do like a TBR countdown kind of thing, like how many books are on my TBR and how much I take off and stuff. But I don't do like reading down my TBR videos. Like, I know it sounds like it because like read it on Unhaul it and a lot of people do that, but I'm not trying to read down my TBR. I'm just trying to read the books I already own and prioritize those. And sometimes I have a hard time picking what to read next. So it's just to like help me do that. I'm not actually actively trying to bring my TBR down. I mean, I am trying to be mindful about what I buy and what I have on my TBR, but it's not really what I'm about. So I can't do any like TBR countdowns or anything like that because I'm just not tracking that. Well, hopefully that makes sense. And I hope you're still excited for this because not only is this an Emboss or Toss Halloween special, but it's also a Vlogs of Halloween special as well. And I am still knee deep in my Vlogs of Halloween era. And not only am I so fucking uncomfortable on the floor, but also I'm just genuinely so excited to continue this spooky season. So if you end up enjoying this video, please do give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's put in all of these books on my little spin the wheel and see what we're going to be reading first for Emboss or Toss Halloween special. And also 7 is my favorite and lucky number. So I'm really hoping that we find some new favorites in this video. If not, then I'm demoting 7 as my favorite number. Don't know what number I could pick instead. Now I had to bring the wheel back, didn't I? The wheel of horror that I did for my Summerween vlogs. And I have put everything in alphabetical order by author surname, but I am going to, like, you know, shuffle that a little bit just to, you know, really make it so that I don't get some of the shit. Although I don't think there's anything on there that I really would not like to read at all. I do think, like, even though some of them have been on my TBR for a long time, I do still think I would like to read every single one that I put in. And I won't go through every single horror that is on this wheel because, you know, like, what would be the point? Because we most likely won't get to all of them, but let's say like how many I can get to in this video. So without further ado, let's spin that wheel. It was so close to being a manga. It was so close to being a manga where it would have been so nice to like start off with. Oh, like it was so close to being Alli by Junji Ito. Ah, you little bastard. I already know me and this wheel are not going to get on in this episode. Last to leave the room. Okay, you know how I just said, you know, I would like to read every single book in this wheel. I would still like to read Last to Leave the Room, absolutely. But you know what, let me get it. So yeah, the thing with Last to Leave the Room is that this was from Evernight, a book box subscription, which means I never actually went out and got this book myself. It was just included in one of the monthly boxes. Or is it bi-monthly? Or is it tri-monthly? Or is it 4-monthly? I can't remember now, but it's not a regular box. It's not a monthly box. But since getting this book, I have not heard amazing things. Maybe I will break the cycle. Maybe I will actually have really good things to say about this. And to be fair, it's not that long. It is 310 pages. That's not bad. I do love the cover. I think it looks aptly creepy and aptly scary. And it is set in a city that is sinking. And there is a basement that belongs to Dr. Tamsin. And her basement seems to be sinking faster than any other place. And I believe she's doing like a lot of research. There is a room with distorted dimensions. And she finds a door that didn't exist before. And out pops a doppelganger. I mean, it does sound interesting, and I don't want to go into this negatively, because that could really jeopardize my rating for this book, and I do really want to enjoy it. So, we are starting off with Last to Leave the Room by Caitlin Starling. I'm hoping that we start this episode off with an emboss. Okay, before I tell you about my thoughts on Last to Leave the Room so far, how do you like my manga room? I put up these cherry blossoms to hang down from some of the bookshelves, and I think it makes it look so cute. So nice. So I hope you like them too. Don't think I've shown you yet. If I have, I apologise. It's just because I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so nice in this room. So nice. I just need to figure out what to do with this side because it's just not as like this is the nostalgia shelves. So I don't really know what to do with this side. Whereas on this side, it's just a whole vibe, you know what I mean? This is a whole ass vibe. Okay, I made it to page 113 of Last to Leave the Room, and I'm leaving the room. I'm sorry, but this is going to be a DNF. I really don't like this so far. It started out pretty well because theoretically some of the things I was bringing up is rather scary, you know, and I liked the discussion about things changing and your eyes might not notice, but your body would. I like the idea that, you know, just walking around your house, you might not be able to notice like slight changes, but say if like the stairs were changing gradually every day, I feel like your body would automatically know if there was more of a gap between stairs or if you like kind of walk forward and your foot hits the bottom of the stair, and like your body would probably know there's changes before your eyes do. So there was like a little brief discussion about that, which I liked. I'm like really trying to find all the things I liked about this. But to be honest, there's really not a whole lot to enjoy. And a lot of it is because the narrative is so freaking dry. The main character is so freaking dry. Because what I've read so far is just like so bogged down with a lot of like technical terms, a lot of research that the main character is doing, a lot of like work and like hypotheticals, and it's just so many questions like, oh, what would happen if this happened? What would happen if that happened? And it's just a kind of style that's just going in circles and circles, and we're getting nowhere. And I feel like the author knew that the most interesting thing about this book would be the appearance of this doorway that honestly I really did like. I took a photo of it because I didn't want to annotate because I didn't think I would keep this, but I took a photo and I like this, you know, where the door appears. It's like every other door in her house, entirely unremarkable except for two things. It did not exist 12 hours ago and it will not open. I love that. Like, so intriguing, so amazing. But then we get into like overanalyzing the bloody thing. And we talk about like mechanical stuff. And we talk about like measurement errors and observational effects and all this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, open the fucking door. Just open the fucking door. The author knew it was the only thing that was going for this book and just wanted to drag it out. And it was taking too long for any kind of remarkable thing to happen. And I was determined to wait until this bloody door opened. And per the summary, so this is not a spoiler, but yeah, per the summary, she meets her doppelganger. And she does. Oh my god, it's so boring. It really lends into the character work in this because the characters, all of them, they feel like NPCs. They feel like they don't actually exist in their own world. None of them feel like a main character. Obviously, we have Tamsin, who is the main character, but even she felt like an NPC in her own world. The conversations that they were having were so drab. It felt like I was observing professionals who are most likely good at their jobs, but they've been doing it for that long. It's just all routine now, and I'm just observing one of the slowest days in the office. And that's why I was waiting for this doppelganger thing to happen, and it did, and yeah, it was so boring. I have more fun talking to myself in the mirror. Now, I am sure, to the patient reader, that this most likely gets better. I'm sure the whole doppelganger malarkey unravels. I'm sure it becomes a little bit more horrific. But so far, it's just been like a hypothetical horror, this one so far. It's like, okay, what would happen if this happened? What would happen if that happened? And nothing's freaking happening. Nothing is happening. I'm not finding any of it scary. As I said, yes, the idea that things could change and your body would know before your eyes, that kind of stuff is a little bit scary, as well as the appearance of a door out of nowhere. That would kind of freak me out too. But like, I wouldn't take that long to open it. I would have opened it by now. Maybe this would have been better if the characters were a lot more interesting to follow. But even the main character, like, she eats mechanically and she has her meetings and she talks about research, and it's not interesting in the slightest because it's just dragging everything down. I'm so bored. And I was really hoping to have a different opinion to everyone else because I do not like to fit the mold. I do not like to be like everyone else because I knew a lot of people don't like this one all that much. And I'm sure there are people out there who love this book, and to you guys, I'm so glad you seem a lot more patient than I am. This is not me shitting on your taste or anything. I just couldn't get on with it. I need a little bit more spice in my life, and this was bringing nothing to the table. Absolutely nothing. So unfortunately, the first book in this video is a DNF, but at least I just knocked this off my TBR. I've had this for 2 years. This was in the Evernight October 2023 box. So literally, when this vlog goes out, it'll be October 2025. So happy 2-year anniversary to us. Fuck off. Which means I can now spin the wheel, and I've managed to get it up on my phone as well. You know how I always struggle whenever I've done a spin the wheel? I think I also did this in episode 4 of Emboss or Toss too. Either episode 4 or 5. No, I think it was episode 4. And obviously like this, the Summerween Wheel of Horror, but I was never able to actually get up on my phone, so I couldn't just spin whenever I wanted. I had to log into my Mac in order to spin the wheel, but I don't have to do that now. All of the power is in my hands. So let's see what we're reading next. Hopefully it's something a lot better than Last Leave the Room. Let's do a little bit of shuffling again. 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? Actually, that's a great idea. Let's shuffle 7 times for episode 7 every time we spin. Oh my god, I'm a genius. Should we try and read 7 books in this video as well? Oh my god. The number 7 is powerful. It is powerful. Anyway, let's spin the wheel. It's a Kingfisher book. And it's another Evernight edition. Holy crap. Holy crap, that's scary. That's a little bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. Let me grab it. Yeah, I got all 3 of these Evernight editions whenever they came out. Was it like a year ago or over a year ago? Because I remember attempting to read A House of Good Bones last October, so October 2024. And then I finally managed to finish this in my Seeing Across My Bookshelves video, which would have gone up 2 weeks before this one. So I read one of them, and then I have The Hollow Places on my Off Fantasy Bingo episode 2 TBR. So this one is definitely going to get read then. And now the Twisted Ones for Emboss or Toss episode 7, I'm pretty much reading all 3 of them nearly back to back. But again, this was Evernight. So this one follows someone called Mouse, and I believe her dad asks her to help clean her grandmother's house. However, her grandmother was a hoarder. Which is so funny because I'm currently watching Allie from With Allie. Her username used to be Hardback Hoarder. And I find that so funny. Yeah, Allie is currently doing like a 12-hour read and sprint live stream on Twitch. And so I have that on the TV downstairs. But anyway, my mind just made the connection there. Grandma, Allie, same thing. Mouse then ends up coming across her grandfather's journal, and it's filled with what she thinks is nonsense, but there are some like scary things in there. And it also leads Mouse and her dog to confront some terrors in the woods outside or something like that. I don't know how these things connect, but I'm about to find out. The summary on this is a little bit haphazard, but I'm super excited to start this. I will definitely enjoy this more than Last Leave the Room. I have really enjoyed my reads with T. Kingfisher. I've read a few now. I've read The Raven and the Reindeer. I've read A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. I read A House with Good Bones. Is that it? Actually, that might be it. So this will be my 4th. But I enjoyed every single one so far. So we're hoping for another win. What time is it? It is... Oh, it's nearly 6 p.m, which means in half an hour I'm doing my Once Upon a Time watch along with my patrons, and it is going to be my final Once Upon a Time watch along because we have not really been enjoying it recently. Season 5 was terrible. I haven't liked season 5. So watching the season 5 finale tonight and the first 2 episodes of season 6, and then if anyone else wants to like continue watching it, they absolutely can, but I will not be. It was fun while it lasted, but the watch alongs are very hard to maintain sometimes because they can take over a year to get through an entire show. I think Charm took a year and a half. But yeah, I'm cancelling Once Upon a Time watch along. And instead, on Patreon, if you fancy joining, I've got a link down below. But I'm going to be doing a TV show taste test instead every now and then, where we're going to watch the first 3 episodes of a TV show, and then people can decide if they want to, continue watching it or not watching it. But it does mean that nobody has to commit to a whole year of trying to watch a TV show together every Sunday. So we could end up doing a TV show taste test of like a nostalgic show like Desperate Housewives or One Tree Hill or like Gilmore Girls, like just the first 3 episodes, just to like get people hyped. And these can be TV shows I've seen before or haven't seen before, and it's just a really fun time. Yeah, we can also do like the first 3 episodes of anime, we could do the first 3 episodes of a sitcom, we could do the first 3 episodes of a really hyped up TV show that's just come out on streaming or something like that. And then at least my patrons don't have to commit to an entire year of watching something and then falling behind and not being able to catch back up. So yeah, the TV show taste test will be happening, and it will mean I'll be able to do more regular movie nights again in True Crime and Wine Nights. I've missed those. So I'm going to crack open some wine to celebrate it being the last Once Upon a Time watch along. It was amazing in the beginning, but it's unfortunately gone quite rapidly downhill. And I'm excited to finish season 5 and start season 6 and then abandon the show tonight. But you're probably thinking, why are you starting season 6? It's because we do 3 episodes every week, and that's just the way it's kind of worked out. We have the season 5 finale in the first 2 episodes of season 6, and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to open the bubbly. I don't think I can start this tonight. I don't have time. But this will be my read tomorrow. Oh, I'm so excited. You're so beautiful. You are so gorgeous.
You gotta get away!
Okay.
Yes, but we both know that's not you, dearie. My best student was the Queen. You have her buried under layers of...
Oh, we have just finished Once Upon a Time. Well, we haven't actually finished it. We didn't finish season 6 and 7, but we finished with season 6, episode 2. No more Once Upon a Time watch-alongs. We are free. The fact that so many of my patrons in the live chat were saying, we're free. At last. Oh my god, I feel like I've held everyone hostage. I really have. Oh, Tobu. So yeah, no more of that, but we were just discussing what we can do for like taste testing wise, and we were saying like Twin Peaks, The Boys, Orphan Black, Lucifer, so many suggestions. So I'm very excited to find out what we're going to end up, doing like taste tests for. But that is the watch along done. I have finished a glass of wine. Tobu keeps looking at me. Tobu, I don't know what you want. I've played with him. He didn't want anything to do with it. Put fresh food in his bowl, ran upstairs. He's been so finicky, I don't know what to do with him. But I'm going to see what he wants, I guess. But I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that the watch along is over. Like, that's so bad of me to say. I'm the one who forced everyone to do it. But, like, it gets to a point, some shows just get so crap over time. And I freaking loved Once Upon a Time in the earlier seasons. Just wasn't for me anymore. Just wasn't for me. Anyway, let me know if you watched Once Upon a Time. Let me know if you're a fan. No embossing or tossing tonight. But I might take my book out with me tomorrow when I go and get my hair cut. And do a little bit of reading. Do what we're supposed to be doing in these reading vlogs. It just went up. And now it's going back down.
Let's go, girls. Come on. I'm going out tonight. I'm feeling alright. Gonna let it all hang out. Wanna make some noise. Really raise my voice. Yeah, I wanna scream and shout. Feel like a woman. The girls need a break tonight. We're gonna take the chance to get out on the town. We don't need romance, we only wanna dance. We're gonna let our hair hang down. The best thing about being a woman is the prerogative to have a little fun. Oh, they're totally crazy. Forget I'm a lady. Men, shirt, short skirts. Really go wild, yeah. Doing that in style. Get in the action. Feel the attraction. Color my hair, do what I dare. I wanna be free, yeah. To feel the way I feel. And man, I feel like a woman.
I have just come back from the town. It does need washed though, so I can get the stray hairs and stuff off. And also, like, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But yeah, this is how it looks. It's definitely a bit shorter, innit? Definitely a bit shorter. But so happy to get it cut before I go away to New York. But I needed to get some new stuff. And also, All Saints had 25% off selected items. And all the items I selected were 25% off. I also went into Waterstones and Forbidden Planet. And I did get some books. So I will do a cheeky little book haul for you right now. But I'm going to go from my phone to my camera because, you know, that's a little bit better. But yeah, I really need to give this a wash. I also need to change. You know, I'm still in, you know, a t-shirt and shorts. And it's getting rather cold outside. It's getting rather miserable. I think it's going to rain in a second. So it's starting to get a little bit cold. I did take the Twisted Ones into town with me, but I didn't get to read that much. I literally read a chapter. I went into Costa, had a coffee, and try to read some of this. And honestly, it is good so far. Don't have many thoughts because it is the first chapter. Although actually I do have one thought. I think Kingfisher has something against grandmothers or something. Maybe there's some underlying trauma there. Because I read A House with Good Bones and there was an awful grandmother in that too. And we have another one here where the grandmother is awful. So I'm sensing a pattern here. Not much more to say about that, though I will crack down, read some more, make myself maybe a decaf cinnamon roll, cappuccino with oat milk, because it is getting rather cold. So yeah, I have a bit of a stack to show you in terms of what I bought while I was in town. I was looking to see if there was any good like horrors, and there were actually a few new horrors that I did want to get anyway, like some that I was kind of excited for. And then I also got like one that I've never heard of before, so Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White. Apparently this has trans representation in it. Yeah, 16-year-old trans boy Benji is on the run from the cult that raised him. And Benji is rescued by a group that is like an LGBTQ plus group. And it sounds so inclusive. It sounds so good. I don't know if this is teen. Is this teen? I found it in the adult fantasy and sci-fi section at Waterstones. So I think it is. I think it is adult, but I will double check online because I can never tell. And then I also got Hot Wax by ML Rio from Waterstones too. I did have £40 off as well, by the way. All of those points that I've been accumulating every single time I order and pre-order during Double Stamps weekends, paying off. But yeah, Hot Wax, I did really like Graveyard Shift and If We Were Villains by ML Rio. So I'm looking forward to reading Hot Wax. I will add this and I'll add this to the spinner wheel as well. We'll see if either of those come up. And I do have a couple more, but the last thing I got from Waterstones was this Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinneman. This is the 7th Dungeon Crawler Call book. I'm so excited. I need to get back into reading the series. I've only read the first 3, but because it is spooky season now, I had to put a hold on a lot of the fantasy reads that I've been reading so that I can, you know, go all in on my spooky reading this spooky season. So I will be putting this on the shelf right next to the other ones, and I cannot wait. It's so beautiful and it's so big. How many pages is this? I need to add all of these to my spreadsheet as well. It is 859 pages. It's a big one. It actually got a lot more from Forbidden Planet because I didn't say We Love You Bunny by Mona Award in Waterstones, but I did find it in Forbidden Planet. And I'm so excited for this one. I love the first book, Bunny, and I might try and do a reread before this one. I'll still add this to the spinner wheel. And I might not need to reread Bunny, but I'll add this to the spinner wheel just in case it pops up. Also got Killer House Party by, I was about to say by RSVP to RIP, but that's the tagline, by Lily Anderson. I've never seen this around before, never heard anyone talk about it. It was in the US import section as well, but apparently this is a whole group of teens get trapped in a mansion and like they were having a party and they get trapped in this mansion and like I think murder starts to happen. Yeah, the walls begin to bleed. And it's like the party to end all parties, but the manor doors bar everyone inside. Oh, that sounds so good. And then I got a couple of Joe Hill books. I've never read Joe Hill before, but I got Nosferatu. Always want to read this, as well as Horns. And one of the reasons why I picked these up was because these are signed, and they look like they've been actually signed in person. So it's not even like a signed sticker, you know, like how they usually put like a signed book plate in them or something. But look at this one. Look at the Horns one. He's actually drawn horns on it, which I find so cool. And yeah, I've never read a Joe Hill book. I believe he is Stephen King's son. So I need to read them because I have been loving reading Stephen King. So I imagine his son has probably written some good stuff. And then the only manga that I got was the Kingdom Hearts manga in the 3 for 2. This is the Kingdom Hearts 3 manga, and Kingdom Hearts is my favorite video game series of all time. I have never seen Kingdom Hearts manga in Forbidden Planet, or at least if I have, it's never been in the 3 for 2, and it's usually been one of the Kingdom Hearts 2 ones. They've never had the Kingdom Hearts 3 ones before, but they had loads of Kingdom Hearts 3, and they had volumes 1, 2, and 3 in the 3 for 2. So I was like, oh, perfect, I'll go for that. But yeah, the only mangas I got, I was looking for some horror manga, but I couldn't really say any that really drew my attention, so I didn't quite go for them. But yeah, that is my little book haul. I'll add them in my spreadsheet now. I'll add some of the new horrors that I got today to the spinner wheel and play with Ash and Tobu for a little bit, even though they seem conked out on my bed, and continue with the twisted ones. What a good day. I was at the gym this morning as well, just pumping it out. I usually have training on a Monday morning, but my trainer is in Ireland, so I just went in just by myself, just doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's just a great way to start the day. Honestly, I'm feeling pumped. I'm feeling jazzed. The mental health is healthing. All it takes is a little bit of gymming and a little bit of book buying, a little bit of clothes shopping as well. But hey, 25% off in All Saints. Like, come on, you have to go for it. You have to go for it. That's a quarter off. In All Saints is fucking expensive. But that 25% off sale, you know what I mean? It is nearly 10 p.m. right now. I have just finished the twisted ones, and like, I didn't love it. I don't know if maybe I'm reading a little bit too many Take Kingfishers at once, because I feel like a lot of the like story beats, a lot of the characterization felt very similar to A House with Good Bones. It's like not the same plot wise by any means, but it just felt like it was going on a trajectory that's kind of like A House with Good Bones. And even the main character as well, as much as I like her, I don't know, I just feel like there wasn't too much of a differentiation between her and the main character in A House of Good Bones. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved her backstory. I love the stories about like her dad, in his relationship with his mother, who is obviously like Mouse's grandmother, and all the stories there as well. I like a little bit of family history. I like the fact that we had this house that was just filled with so much shit because of like all the hoarding and stuff. So it meant so many possibilities for like creepy things to happen, and creepy things did happen. There was like lots of dolls as well, which was such a creepy thing. But I will say the MVP of this book was Bongo. I freaking love Bongo. Bongo is Mouse's dog, and I was so scared for Bongo for like all of this book too. I was always just worrying about Bongo. I was like, you touch that dog. You dare touch that dog and I will end you. So I like that. So the animal companion aspect of this book was definitely something that I think helped to enhance it. And I probably do prefer Mouse over, was it Samantha, who is the main character in House of Good Bones? I'm only comparing the two because I only read A House of Good Bones a couple of weeks ago. So it's still fresh in my mind. And like, I couldn't stop reading this, don't get me wrong. Like, I blasted through this today. I feel like Take Kingfisher has like a very welcoming kind of like storytelling style. Like, even if I wasn't in the best mood to read, I still would want to read a Take Kingfisher book because it's just accessible. I like the way that she writes, and I like the way that she can weave in, you know, like more subtle horror than just like outright scares. But I did also love the idea of like the woods and the weird rumors around the woods as well. So Mouse ends up meeting, you know, a guy pretty early on in this story who tells her, or at least he doesn't exactly tell her outright, but he seems a little bit sketchy about the woods. And like, it does make your imagination go a little bit wild, which I do enjoy. But I don't know, I don't think this story was special enough for me to like really love it. And I still like it. As I say, I still like it. I'll give it 3 stars. And this will be getting embossed as well. I will be keeping all of my Evernight Take Kingfisher books. I haven't already embossed it, have I? I remember when I first got my embosser, I think I embossed A House of Good Bones because it was my 24 hours of horror last year, which was like last October, and I was just embossing anything that came my way. Still marginally better than Last to Leave the Room. Like, I'm already going to unhaul Last to Leave the Room. I'm going to be tossing that one. And I did actually email my library today. They haven't replied yet because I emailed after hours. I'm hoping for a reply tomorrow. But I said, hey, if you want these books, because I do have the books I've unhauled since like June, because I donated like hundreds of books to my local library. Like, oh my god, it's ridiculous. I showed it in my Library Challenge episode 3 2025 edition. I'll link it down below if you want to see me donate all of those books to the library. I can't remember how many boxes there were. I think it was like 17 boxes of books I've been unhauling since like 2023. I think I still have books from 2023 that I was unhauling, so I donated all of those. So I've given them a new list of all the books I've been unhauling since June, and it's actually quite a few. It's like 100 books. So I have mentioned like all the books I'm unhauling in different videos because I've been reading them or I've been, you know, mentioning them in like my bookshelf organization video, for instance. I did that at the start of August. I unhauled 90 books in that video. So those are hopefully going to my library, including Last to Leave the Room, which I already have in my unhaul pile outside of the door, which you can't see right now. It's a bit messy. But yeah, I'm already unhauling that. So this was definitely an improvement. But 3 stars, I loved Bongo. There's not really much more to say about it. I felt like I had more to say about Last to Leave the Room, and I didn't even like Last to Leave the Room. So that's 2 books read so far, which is fantastic. And now I need to do the spinny wheel. I do need to add the ones I got today though. So Hot Wax, We Love, And I'm not going to add We Love You Bunny, just because I really kind of do want to reread Bunny before I read it. I mean, I could add Bunny on, because I didn't add Bunny on, so that could be my reread. What else did I get? Again, it was Killer House Party was one of them. Oh my god, I can't spell. How do you spell it? Or at least how does Joe Hill spell it? Nosferatu, Horns. There was a gay one, Hell Followed With Us. No, not Hale. Hell Followed With Us. And that was it. So let me just turn the volume up because it is such a jam. Let's spin the wheel. See what we're reading. Oh wait, no, I need to shuffle 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spin that wheel. Shut up. What? Okay, like literally, I just put it on. That was weird, right? That was weird. I shuffled 7 times as well. And it keeps getting close to Alli as well, you know, by Junji Ito. I'm like, I could really do with a lovely manga, horror manga, but never mind. Okay, so it's going to be Horns. I literally just hold it. It's right here. I just hold it today. I mean, it's kind of amazing that I get a brand new book, because it is such an exciting feeling getting a brand new book and being able to read it pretty much straight away. So thank you so much to the Emboss Toss gods for allowing this. The summary of this one is quite intense, but we do follow Ig, and he is the second son of a musician and the younger brother of a rising late night TV star. So, you know, he's in like this kind of amazing world. And I believe he falls in love with someone called Merrin. However, Merrin gets R-worded and murdered, and Ig was the only suspect. He somehow comes across like this power where he can read people's deepest and darkest secrets. So he wants to use this power to find Merrin's killer. I love how it says this at the end of the summary here. Being good got him nowhere. It's time for a little revenge. It's time the devil had his due. So I imagine this is going to be like some kind of angry protagonist, not a good guy, can be a very, very sinister person, potentially. And I kind of want that in a horror novel at the minute, because I haven't read the most interesting protagonists in a little while. So I can only imagine the protagonist in this one is going to be very, very interesting to follow. You know, I'm genuinely so excited. I'm so excited for this. And this will be my first ever Joe Hill book. And I said I've been wanting to read him for a long time because he's Stephen King's son. Now I'll be able to see if the son surpasses the father.
Amazing. I don't normally like contemporary things, but it's like, I guess like the art makes it kind of fancy sound. I don't know, maybe I'm just fucking basic about it, but it's very perfect expression. In the context of anything. I sound like I'm writing an English when I say this, but it is just...
I managed to get a Hendrix K-pop Demon Hunter shirt yesterday. Oh, and people were asking me, where did you get the Hex Girl shirt from? So I did go back to the store to get the name of the store, and it's Damaged Society. So if you're looking for Hex Girls, they have I think it's 2 for £25 sale on for the shirts. And that's where I got my Hex Girl shirt from ages ago. But I actually didn't have any K-pop Demon Hunters merch at all. So I saw this in the shop window yesterday as I was passing, and I had to get it. What can I say? And I love how it just matches my headphones so well. So I've actually been listening to music for the last like half an hour because I had a food shop come. So as I put it away and I was like, oh, I really want to listen to some songs as I do this. So I started listening to some songs and then time escaped me. And lo and behold, it is now nearly 3 p.m. I have Patreon reading sprints in an hour. And I have been reading Joe Hill's Horns this morning. I've been reading all morning, actually, and I'm on page 287. I can probably take these off now. I just wanted to show you what they look like. But I have been liking this. It hasn't been incredible, and I do think that the start of this book was definitely way stronger than the more recent chapters I've been reading. And there's a few reasons for that. Firstly is I freaking love the premise. Okay, I loved the way that we started this story with getting straight into the fact that this guy, Ig, our main character, wakes up with horns on his head. And people can say it, but like, it's so odd. It's so strange. It reminded me a little bit of, When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. There were some things about this that reminded me of that. And I'll not delve too much into that. But yeah, in this, it just felt like such a fever dream at the start. And, he was interacting with people and he's so confused. And then people are just like, spilling some like shit to him, like really dark shit. And you know what? You have to be like really comfortable reading. Well, I wouldn't even say comfortable. I'm not even comfortable reading myself. But like you kind of have to sort of have a bit of a strong stomach for some of the things that is said at the start of this book. And I can tell this is Stephen King's son. I can tell for a couple of reasons. The main thing is definitely the writing style. There is like quite a lot of character work in this, and I do get it. So we have like the initial story and that's playing out. This book is split into parts, by the way. So the first part was like all about the immediate story and the immediate plot, and then part 2 kind of went back in time and we got to meet certain characters, which is definitely important because you want to know like more about them and you want to know like why they're involved in like the mystery of like who actually killed Merrin. And yeah, like if you didn't really know these people, then you won't really care who did it. So I do understand why. But I feel like the pace has just turned so glacial. We had such an incredible start. Yeah, like the first 70 pages was mainly to do with Ig realizing the kind of power he now has. And I was like, oh, this could make for some really interesting storylines, because what do you mean? Like he can hear people. It's like what they say as well. Like they seem to just be like weirdly honest with him in like such a morbid and weird way. And he does come across like a priest and a nun. When he goes to his family as well. So you can imagine like when you're stuck in that kind of situation, you think, I don't really want to know what my family actually thinks of me. And you kind of don't. Like I would hate it if I ever got the power to like read people's minds. I do not want to know really what people think of me, because like it would just be too awful. So I really sympathize with the main character. I mean, I don't really like him all that much, but I sympathize with like the situation he's in and the things that he has to hear. It's so odd, but like I thought, this will like lead to some like really cool scenes and stuff. And yeah, like it hasn't really gone that way. I thought it would take a lot more to work things out, but no, I mean, it was definitely like there's been some like shocking moments and an absolute progression of the main story. But I don't know, I kind of just, I feel like this is maybe like the kind of thing that Stephen King does as well, is you have the main premise, but then he kind of bogs it down with so much else. Don't get me wrong, I love Stephen King, and I am really liking Joe Hill as well so far. Like I really do think this is a good book so far, but sometimes I feel like they really do have to figure out what to cut, because I don't think some of it I really needed to know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm liking some of the Stephen King references though. Like there was a mention of Carrie in this, so I'm like, see what you're doing there. The prodigal son, but also like father like son. There is use of like the N word and the F word, and I'm just like, what is that man teaching his son? And don't take that the wrong way. I understand this is horror and this is a depiction of real people. And if you do get to hear people's thoughts, then you better damn know there's going to be some racists and homophobes and ableist people out there 100%. So you're going to get some of that in this 100%, but it always takes me out. You know what I mean? Like, it always takes me out. And the first time it happened as well, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is definitely Stephen King's son. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't me being, like, awful to Stephen King or Joe Hill. Like, if you're a big fan of them, hey, I love Stephen King myself, but it gets a little bit too much, you know? It gets a little bit too much. So I have had to, like, take that into account as well as I'm reading, that this is a depiction of real people, and they're not the nicest people, honestly. But yeah, I find it so bizarrely interesting, and I really do wish that we could just, like, kind of stay on topic a lot of it. So I made it to the section called The Fixer. Is this like the last section? I do like the fact that this is split into sections. I feel like that's... Oh no, hang on, there's another section called The Gospel According to Mick and Keith. Okay, so I have 2 sections to go. And yeah, I do have reading sprints in 1 hour. So I'll see how much more I can get read before then. I'll turn the music off. You can only imagine what I was listening to, but I'll turn the music off. And I'll see if I can get more read. And hopefully finish in the first sprint so that we can pick our next book. Because I'm really vibing, because I'm really wanting to read. Like, I really love reading at the minute. I know I had a little bit of a stumble a couple of months back with my like little slump, and I know, like, I'm so sorry. I got so many comments on my Snake Across My Bookshelves video of like you lovely lot saying, oh, it's so nice to see you like out the slump and being happy again and stuff. I'm like, I'm so sorry that because I obviously, like, yeah, that happens, and I'm blogging like nearly every single day and I'm making videos and stuff, but it is apparent, isn't it? It is apparent when I'm not enjoying myself as much. It's very hard to hide that on camera, but I just need to keep going, don't I? I've just got to keep going and going and going and just filming and just like seeing it through. And that's what's happened. I've seen it through, but I didn't realize like how many people noticed when I did Stay Across My Bookshelves and all the comments on it. Being like, oh, it's so nice to see you happy again and this, that, and the other. I was like, oh my God, was I really that bad? I'm so sorry. So I'll try not to be a Debbie Downer when it comes to like slumping and stuff. I know I do overwork myself, but I am loving reading at the minute. Like, it's what I want to do. I just like want to sit down and just like lie here and read. Although I do really want to like play games and stuff as well. Like, I want to play like Silent Hill F. Gosh. So what I'll reward myself with is like later when I finish sprints, I might, or even like during sprints, like we'll see what I'm reading next. Hopefully it's like a really short one. Hopefully it's a small one. We'll see what I'm reading next. And then maybe, who knows, maybe during like the last sprint, and after the sprints, I can play some Silent Hill F. I need to reward myself. You know, it's lovely doing all my reading and stuff, but I need to reward myself with some other hobbies. And that's what I've been doing. I have played through, I think probably like an hour and a half worth of Silent Hill F, and I really like it so far. So I just need to like get back into it and like really fully immerse myself. But I'm kind of torn as well at the minute because I do want to read. I do want to read. I want to make sure I take advantage of that while I can, because I do not want another slump to come. And this book is kind of helping me as well with the like wanting to read. Like, I've made quite a lot of notes. Like, some of the, like, I'm not saying like all the flashbacks and stuff are bad in that. I do feel like a lot of it does help to humanize and to make these people feel real, which is something Stephen King does really well as well. But you know, when you're like so invested in the main story, you just want to go back to that. That's kind of what it feels like every time. So it does feel like I'm stopping and starting. But no, it's still really good. And yeah, just have my monster. I'll probably make a decaf as well before I start the sprints, because I really wanted it to be nice and cozy. And I also might pester Toby a little bit as well, because he was trying to keep me up last night. Not on. Okay guys, I've just had a really crazy idea, like literally 20 minutes before the live show, is that I felt like I really wanted to move my computer, my desk and stuff into the manga room. I actually would rather read and do like work in here. It's just so much lighter in here for some reason. It might be the position of the window and stuff like that, but I thought maybe having like my desk here, like in front of the window instead of in the other room, I don't know, it just feels more like nary in here. So I randomly had this thought like two seconds ago, and I just started moving things. I was like, oh, I'm going to quickly like vlog it. But like, this is, I'll show what it looks like now, and I can always change it back when I, like, well, if I want to change it back, I'll change it back. But I don't know, I had the idea and I was like, I want to do it. You know, when you get something in your head and you just want to do it, I want to do it. And I want like barely no time as well. But hey, Ash stole my seat. So this is, I mean, I need to get rid of those freaking, it might also be because I still have those curtains up that I need to get rid of. But yeah, this is what it looks like now, with like the desk there in between here. And what I can do is I can just put, you know, the this chair, not the cat, sofa, but like this chair I can put by the window, and then this can be my like reading room. Instead of having it be in the manga room and having the manga room be the reading room, I could have it in here instead, and like put it here, sort it out and stuff. But anyway, I don't have enough time to really explain, but I do think the desk will probably look better here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you the update in a second. Oh my gosh, 4 minutes until my live show. And yeah, now the desk is in the manga room. I like it. I do like it. So that should be nice and cozy with like all of that in the background. And then I do need to still like sort out in here. Like I need to move those and find a place for my light and stuff to live. But yeah, I thought I would have a lot more room here. I got like a little table to put there. And so it can be more of a reading room than a working room. I think that should work, right? Yeah, I have finished Horns, but I want to spin the wheel, find out what I'm reading in sprints, because I don't want to film a review during sprints. I want to use this time wisely and do my reading. So I'm going to shuffle 7 times because it is episode 7. I'm going to shuffle 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to spin that wheel. So who's ready? Let's spin the wheel. And you guys are going to love the music. You're going to love the music. Let's do it. Do you know how many fucking times Allie has been so close to being picked? Do you know how many times I said I want something nice and short? Literally, I think it's like the 3rd or 4th wheel spin I've done. And Allie has been like the closest one to getting picked. The closest. I'm not mad about getting We Sold Our Souls, but I wanted something short and easy and quick. It is a good job that We Sold Our Souls was picked, though, because it is in my 25 books to read in 2025. So it is very important that I get that one read sooner rather than later. Grady Hendrix. You know what? I'm going to quickly grab it. I'll grab it now. Again, I want to read this, but I wanted something shorter. But yeah, We Sold Our Souls, Grady Hendrix, my hit or miss author, but it's been more miss for the last few that he's released. I haven't really enjoyed... Oh, it's signed as well. I haven't really enjoyed a Grady Hendrix in a long time. I think 2020 or 2021 was the last time I enjoyed Grady Hendrix. Almost forgot to add in my early autumn equinox books to the form. House of the Arcane, we've got this. We're winning this. We are winning this one. I'm logging in all my books now while still on Sprint Heroes. Ayy.
Stop it, Ash. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Stop it. Stop it, I'm trying to read. Stop it. Oh, I love you. Ow. Ow. Oh, oh. Ow, ow, oh, oh. Oh, I love you.
Well, look who just stole my seat. Is this what you were after the entire time, huh? Annoying and pestering me while I'm trying to read my book? Huh? What if I just sit on you? What if I just sit on you?
What if I just sit on you? What then? What then? Oh, you're so cute. Hiya. Hiya, gorgeous. Oh, you're so gorgeous. I love you. I love you.
Okay, so I'm currently doing my final sprint. It is nearly 10 p.m. and there's still 30 minutes left on the sprint. So I'm hoping to continue reading some more of my book. Made myself a what have I made again? A cinnamon roll, oat milk, cappuccino, decaf coffee to wind down with. So yeah, I did finish Horns during the first sprint, and I do really like this. I think it went a little bit too long by the end. It was still quite exciting, but in a way that I feel like sometimes Joe Hill would break his own world rules. You know, like some of it didn't really make a whole lot of sense, and I feel like there was maybe like too many questions that was left unanswered by the end too. So I didn't feel like I was fully satisfied by this by the end. But you know what? This has really made me want to read more Joe Hill. Thank God I have Nosferatu, because I've heard great things about that one, and it's currently in my room. Could potentially come up in the spinner wheel, although I'm kind of okay with just reading one Joe Hill for this video. He absolutely did go to the Stephen King School of Waffle, though, because there was still a good amount of times of, you know, just instances of just pure waffle that I feel like could have benefited from just being edited out. So pacing itself, I didn't fully love. Didn't really love the whole like back and forth with the flashbacks at times. I totally, again, like understand the importance of them, but I kind of would have liked this as more of a linear story. And also I feel like that initial premise, like genuinely the first part of this book was so good in terms of like, I really am so intrigued by this whole thing. I don't think I fully utilized it, but it was still a really fun time. 3.5 stars, and I will be embossing this. So I'm very glad, because I have literally just bought it, and I was worried that I would already have to like donate it to my library or something. But no, I feel like I would have kept it even if I didn't love it that much, because I just love the idea of it being signed by Joe Hill with like the actual drawn horns on there. I don't think this is very unique. I bet he's done this to so many books, but I thought it was really good. So I am 100 pages exactly into We Sold Our Souls. So as you saw, I did the spinner wheel during the chatty bit between the first and second sprint, and we sold our souls, and I seemed rather disappointed. I don't want anyone thinking that I didn't want to read this like ever. I was just like really excited to read something small, but I'm so glad I'm actually reading this, because I'm actually really enjoying this. And I do have a theory that maybe some of Grady Hendrix's older stuff I do like, but his newer stuff I just haven't really vibed with as much. And I do have Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, because I freaking love witches. Case in point, I have a Book of Shadows from Charmed. In fact, I have 3. What's so funny as well is during sprints we were talking about the Book of Shadows from Charmed, and I found, oh, actually no, I have 4 if you count this. So this was my like little journal that I had 20 years ago. Like literally I have on the back here 2004. Oh, unlock pebbles. I feel like this was like some kind of PlayStation cheat code or something, just like randomly written in my Book of Shadows. Yeah, I've got written here 2004, 2005, and oh my god, like literally, yeah, it's 2025, so 21 years I made this, and it's like literally just a random ass journal, but I was drawing my own Book of Shadows pages in it, and it's so bad. Now wait until you see my version of Balthazar. Like, this is my version of Balthazar. Look at that, it's so bad. And then look at the freaking Wendigo that I drew. This Wendigo has had a facelift. It's had some Botox done or something. So it was a blast from the past. It was really fun showing that. But anyway, yeah, so I love witches, so that's why I have the newest Grady Hendrix Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, because I love witches. So yeah, I haven't had the best track record with Grady Hendrix for a while. I have loved some of his stuff, like My Best Friend's Exorcism. I really enjoyed Horror Store. I liked Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, but I really didn't like The Final Girl Support Group or How to Sell a Haunted House. Like those two were like some of my worst books of those years. And the title of this book is ruined for me, because I have a patron called Moonboy. If you're watching this, hi. He said, don't say that title so fast, because it sounds like you're seeing something else. And I was like, we sold our souls. We sold our souls. We sold our souls. I'm not hearing it, Liz.
I'm not hearing it, Liz.
But then he said, it sounds like you're saying we sold arseholes. 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 We sold arseholes. I'm like, who sells arseholes? So that's apparently what it sounds like. So now that's all I say from this title now is we sold arseholes. But anyway, as I said, I'm really enjoying this, and I actually can't wait to get back into reading it. And yeah, we have Chris. She, like years ago, she was part of a band, and they were called Dirt Work, but she had a bandmate called Terry. But Terry fucked them over. There were other band members who got fucked over and stuff. But yeah, they went their separate ways like years ago. And now we have Chris. She's kind of seeing the band members, and horrible things are happening. When Chris goes to see the first band member, Scotty, oh my gosh, I'm not going to say anything. But when she visits the first band member, Scotty, that is really when the plot like proper kicks off, and it was so exciting. I was like, oh my god, Oh my god, I'm actually like riveted. I'm riveted. I mean, I was riveted by the very first paragraph of like chapter 2, where we have a naked man walking through the sliding doors, his penis flopping from side to side. I was like, oh, this is totally my book. But no, I like Chris. You know, she is now, I think it was 47. So it's been a long time since her like glory days. And I felt really, really bad for her because, you know, she was going through like what her life is like now, you know, like with debt, a job that she doesn't really like, and what she has to put up with and go through. And I felt really bad. And it's something that I also feel rather scared of, is feeling like I've kind of like failed in life, or if like my own glory days were over and I would never get them back and stuff like that. I do really appreciate what she is going through. So I really feel connected to her and her journey. And yeah, I'm very invested in her story, and I'm very invested in this band and what happened between this band. I did take pictures on my phone of things I wanted to like underline. Obviously, I didn't want to write in this just in case I would end up unhauling it. But the further in I'm getting, I'm thinking, I don't think I want to unhaul this. I don't want to donate this to the library. Oh, I was also hit with an F-word slur. I was like, I've been called the F-word twice today. First in horns, and now when we sold arseholes. The YouTube automatic captions are going to have a field day with that. But don't worry, I will be doing the CCs of this video. Yeah, so Terry Hunt. Terry Hunt was the bandmate, and he's also referred to as the Blind King. And something had happened. They kind of forgotten something, like there's a kind of blind spot in their memory. So they're going to try and figure it out. And I'm so excited to find out what actually has been happening. Ash, do you mind? He's actually trying to break into the car. Ash, stop it. Stop it. Be a little shit. Be a little shit. Honestly, I'm trying so hard to read. I'm telling you, this is why I need audiobooks. Like, I could get so much further in reading if I have audiobooks. But no, it's an absolute plot twist. The fact that I am enjoying this so much. Right, I could totally be enforcing my love for K-pop Demon Hunters into this, but why was I getting major K-pop Demon Hunters vibes by the end? Like, there's a certain plot that really does remind me of it, and I was really digging it. This might be a 5-star. This... Isn't that so bizarre? That's so bizarre. I haven't loved Grady Hendrix in a long time. And this is definitely my favourite Grady Hendrix since My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I read in 2019. 2019. This was so good. I couldn't look away. I was so excited to continue on. I wanted to find out what happened next. I was actually rooting for characters. And I love Chris so much. Oh my god, the main character, Chris, stands out. And I was rooting for her. I was rooting for her journey. This felt like almost like a quest. I think one of the reasons why this also caught my attention was how quest-like this felt. You know, like she's on this journey to get to this guy who she hasn't seen for years and years and years, who, you know, I don't really need to spell it out, but like, he did something really bad and she's trying to make it right. She's trying to get answers. She's trying to understand. And yeah, I was just riveted, absolutely riveted. There were some really good standout scenes as well in terms of the horror. Okay, so Chris mentions that she's claustrophobic. She's claustrophobic, Darren.
I'm claustrophobic, Darren!
And that leads into a scene in a cave, and it just gave me like shivers a little bit because I don't really like caves all that much. The idea of like cave exploring, what do you call them, like cave divers or something? People who explore these really tight caves. Like, has anyone heard of the Nutty Putty Cave? Like, every single time that pops up on my feed, I feel sick. And to imagine something like that is genuinely scary. It's genuinely terrifying. And so to have some claustrophobic scenes in this was really, really good. There was definitely some gore as well. Some graphic gore. Just absolutely kept me reading till the very end. Quite a spectacular kind of finale as well. Left a little bit open-ended. And I love the incorporation of music and like real world media. So the incorporation of like transcripts from like radio interviews and things like that at the end of every chapter. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Carrie by Stephen King, because in Carrie there are excerpts of like biographies and things like in world that helps to make you believe that what happened actually happened. And so Grady Hendrix does a similar approach to this one, where it feels a little bit more real because you're getting those like little interviews and you have like actual music in this too, and the history of the band, Dirtwork, and just like little bits of lore around them. So interesting, so riveting. Yeah, I devoured this. I absolutely devoured this, and I wasn't sure I would. I genuinely thought I fell out of love with Grady Hendrix, but his earlier stuff, I'm telling you, his earlier stuff definitely hits all the right marks for me. So I still own Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I still own it, so I will definitely give that a read. And I'm going to be going in with, I don't know, like I want to go in with all the positivity, of course, because I love witches, and I have heard it's not as witchy as you kind of expect. So I've tapered my expectations, but I love witches, so anything that resembles it, I should hopefully enjoy. But it is Grady Hendrix, and he has disappointed me with the past few new releases. But I don't know if he has more older stuff. I might actually have to check his bibliography. Fantastic fiction. I like to check fantastic fiction. Is there anything I've missed? Satan Loves You? Lil Women? I've never heard of those two. I've read Horror Store. I've read My Best Friend's Exorcism. I've now read We Sold Our Souls. Southern Book Clubs. Final Girls Support Group I've read. House Hell Haunted House I've read. So really it is just Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. Little Women looks like it might be some kind of picture book. Oh, it's a comic strip collection. Okay, so Little Women I think is out. But Satan Loves You. Satan Hates His Job. Okay, maybe that could be good. Please let me know if you've read Satan Loves You. I would love to know if that's any good. So yeah, this is absolutely going to get embossed, back on the shelves, staying on there for as long as possible. I really should have just written this, but I did take a lot of pictures instead, just in case. And this is also another one ticked off my 25 books to read in 2025. So I'm really happy about that. I know I seemed disappointed when it came up on the spinner wheel, but that was because it was right next to a manga. Okay, let's spin the wheel, see what we're getting next. So let's shuffle 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spin that wheel. Ooh, close being Grady Hendrix. Oh. Oh. Hell House. That's a classic, isn't it? Like, that came out a while ago, and I'm saying this as if I don't know why I bought it in the first place. But interesting. Okay, let's go upstairs and get it. Okay, yeah. This is a classic. Stephen King says it is the scariest haunted house novel ever written. Okay. This is set in Belasco House, and it's been stood abandoned for like 20 years. And the last two like expeditions going inside it and like to try and figure out what's going on have led to like murder, suicide, insanity. So there's definitely something wrong with this house. And now there's going to be a new investigation. There's going to be 4 characters going inside it to find out what's happening inside. And that's where the horror begins. Now, I am pretty excited. The text is actually a little bit big, and it is more of a, I guess, classic. When did this come out? Richard Matheson as well. Oh, he wrote I Am Legend. I've seen that film. 1971. Okay. So yeah, it came out in the 70s. Never seen an adaptation of this. I do love the cover. And with it being like a bit of a horror classic, I'm a little bit, cautious because I might have some dated things in there. But no, this is great because I also want to try and get an audiobook, and I'm hoping to get the audiobook for this on like Libby or something, and I feel like that's going to be really easy to get, and I'll show you why. So follow me to the boudoir. I have had the Hocus Pocus cottage Lego for bloody ages. I got it at the start of the year, and I have been waiting for a Halloween video for me to finally build it. And it's getting retired by LEGO this year as well. So if you want to get it before it goes out of stock, then please do. I've been so excited to make it for like freaking months. I don't even remember when I bought it. I think I bought it either at the start of the year or at the end of last year. It's been in here for that long, as well as some other ones that I just don't have the room for. So I've just kept them here for months and months and months. Hocus Pocus Cottage. Oh my God. Finally. Well, hopefully I get the audiobook for free for Hell House. Oh, it's finally time. It's finally time to make it. I, again, don't know where to put this thing, but it's going to go somewhere because I ain't waiting a moment longer.
I put a spell on you because you're mine. I put a spell on you. I ain't lying. You better stop those things that you do. I ain't lying. I put a spell on you. I put a spell on you. You know I can't stand it when you put me down. I can't stand it. Oh, you're running around, so I put a spell on you. I ain't lying. I put a spell on you. I put a spell on you. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you. So I put a spell on you because you're
So I've listened to the entirety of Hell House in like 4 hours as I've been doing my Hocus Pocus cottage. Guys, I've only done 5 bags. 5 bags in like 4 hours. There are 15 bags. Look at the card progress. Like, it starts on this side here and it ends over on this side when you finish. That's how far in I am. And I listened to an entire book. 4 hours. Do you want to see what I've done? So I made the gate part of it, which I think looks really cool. And then for the house itself, this is what I've done so far, which is cool. You can turn that part of it, which is awesome. And then the inside, this is the inside so far. I'm honestly loving it. Like, it's so much fun. The cauldron lights up like that. Oh, I love it. Like, I'm taking my time with it by accident. I mean, I would love to have been so much further along than I am, but it looks so good. I love it so much. I am having fun, but my back is killing me. And I have a book to review. Okay, so I hated this. I didn't like it at all, and it hasn't aged well. I was absolutely correct in that. So when I said like the 4 investigators and stuff, it is 2 couples and, husband and wife. And some of them are more like susceptible to the influence of the house. It almost felt a little bit like the Haunting of Hill House to begin with. And we have like 2 women who are obviously the weakest, and they are so weak compared to their male counterparts that, they are the ones that fall under the influence. They're the ones who are tempted, and there's all this sin. And oh my God, the graphicness of this too. There was so much to do with like sex, and Jesus's phallus as well was mentioned in like depictions of orgies and shit. I wasn't expecting that. And also there was a part as well where obviously one of the women was a little bit possessed, and she's like, grab my tit, suck my tit, and things like that. And things like that. Oh yeah, and the ghost as well. The first time it like really touches someone, it is the woman, and it touches them by groping her. And oh my God, if I hear about Florence's breasts one more time, it was ridiculous how many times they were mentioned. And sometimes back to back to back to back. Bloody hell. There were some gnarly bits in here too. Things that they say, some visions that they're given, and depictions of the ghosts and like corpses and stuff. They were very, very gnarly. And like, I liked the descriptions of that. I liked it when it focused on the paranormal activity and what they were going to try and do to kind of combat that, because we have this whole thing where they need to like stop it, but with like science kind of thing, with machinery. And as soon as the bloody cat attacked, it was possessed and got attacked, my mind instantly remembered Scary Movie 2. Help, my pussy's gone crazy. And then I couldn't unsee it, of course. Like, Scary Movie 2 is a parody of Hell House. I've not seen the film of it, but there were parts of this where I kind of thought, oh, that must be in the film because I'm sure Scary Movie 2 parodied it. Check the music room, check the music room. Wow, where are you? Check the fucking music room. I love Scary Movie 2, it's so funny. But honestly, yeah, if it had just stuck to the plot instead of this, there's also like this really weird stuff to do with like an Indian guide that for me felt like really icky. And yeah, the depiction of women, the role of women, and I know this was written in the 70s, which again, like, I don't think excuses it. I don't even think the time it was written excuses the depiction of women. It felt gross. It felt really, really gross. Like, it could have really worked as a proper haunted house story because I do think the setting was really good, but nah. Characters, like, it was just pitiful. It was really pitiful to see the way the characters were acting. Oh God, yeah. Like, it just, like, they were so subservient. When you hear about what Florence was going to do and stuff when she's away from her husband for, like, more than a day, it's like, oh my God. But yeah, I'm glad I can unhaul that. It's definitely getting tossed. Have you pooped? Have you pooped, old boo? Oh yeah, you have, you dirty bastard. Okay, I've cleaned up the cat shit. Let's get the spinner wheel on and shuffle 7 times. I'm hoping for something where I could, again, find the audiobook for so that I can finish my Hocus Pocus house. So shuffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spin that wheel. What a tune. It's actually gonna give me Allie. It's actually gonna give me Allie. Oh my god, I've been wanting that so badly. I've been wanting it so badly. Amazing work. Okay, I actually do think that I'm gonna have a break from the Hocus Pocus house, and I will probably end up, reading Allie tonight and seeing if maybe the book after will have an audiobook so I can continue the Hocus Pocus house. My back is hurting. My back is hurting after like just sitting here doing LEGO. So I think it's break time, manga time, and solid caramel decaf cappuccino with oat milk time. Good morning. I'm currently on my phone right now, and I've just finished my first morning coffee, and I still have Allie to finish. I started this last night. I got so tired by like 10:30, 11 p.m. and I ended up going to bed, so I only read a few stories in Allie. I'm going to continue on. I have training at 11, which is in 2 hours, and I currently have Ash lying near me as well. Hello, Ash, you want to say hello? You want to say hello? Oh, you're so cute. So yeah, I thought I would check in this morning. It's not often I check in first thing, like right after breakfast and coffee. Don't usually do that. But yeah, enjoying this so far. Just what I needed. Just come back from my 100th personal training session, which is pretty amazing. Considering I started personal training in the very first Emboss or Toss episode, and we're on episode 7, and we've done personal training 100. I've just heated up my roasted turkey slices, which should be very, very nice, because I'm starving. I had training 11 till 12, and I don't really like the late Thursday starts, honestly. I much prefer having like morning ones, because it means I won't really be able to start working today until like 1:30 p.m. And because I still need to go like the shower and stuff, eat, have my protein drink. So I'm hoping by New Year, I'm hoping to change to Tuesday, because I'll be able to do like an earlier one and like stop doing them on a Thursday, because it's just a bit too late for me, you know. So I finished Allie this morning and I loved it. I thought it was so good. I think it's probably the best short story collection that Junji Ito has done in such a long time. And I feel like pretty much every single story in this was aptly creepy, aptly scary. Sometimes there are collections by Junji Ito that I think has a couple of stories that let it down, like a couple that I'm like, very met on. But I genuinely think like every single story in here was like really solid. I loved the first short story, Allie, which is what this is based off. Oh my god, like look at this, like this is so creepy. Like people were murdered in this alley and it's been closed off, and a guy like lives next to it, and like he's just rented a room next to it, and like, oh my god, it's just absolutely creepy. It's so hard to talk about short stories because like that is the short story, and oh my god, it was so creepy. You turn the page and you say that, and it's like bam. Descent was a good one as well. That was pretty scary. I will say like a lot of the stories do leave you feeling a little unsatisfied, but I feel like that's kind of the thing with like urban legends and short stories that are like short and punchy and horror related is that a lot of the times you're not really going to get resolution. You're not really going to have like a perfect wrap up of things. There was maybe like 1 or 2 in this collection. How many stories was there? 10. And you know, I do like the open-endedness of a lot of these stories, don't get me wrong, because it does kind of perpetuate the idea that the horror will continue. Like the horror is never going to end. And I kind of like that idea. But then sometimes a short story would stop just before it gets like really good. And yeah, it just left me wanting more, honestly. So gonna give this one a 4.5. Not my favorite Junji Ito, but it's definitely up there with like his best in my opinion, especially of the more recent ones that have come out. So this will definitely be getting embossed because I do love it. I love my little Junji Ito collection upstairs and I love seeing it. I still have a couple more that I need to read for Junji Ito, so I'm just savoring them when possible because they're so quick and easy to get through. I devoured this morning with my morning coffee. But yeah, I would say Allie was my favorite story. Descent was really good. The Ward was good. The Inn was good. Blessing was okay. Smokers Club was fine. Mold was good. You know, like sometimes Junji Ito takes something so like ordinary and something so everyday and kind of makes it so utterly gross and terrifying. So that's kind of what Mold represented. Town of No Roads was very interesting, actually. I would have loved to have seen that idea expanded upon. So like there is like this town and this random like wooden structure starts getting like built around it and like nobody knows who's doing it and it never gets built while people are watching, but you know, like the next day there'll be more built and then it finally just like boxes in this entire town and you had to go through other people's houses in order to like get through and stuff. That was like a really good one, actually. I really enjoyed that one. Probably my second favorite one, Town of No Roads. Memory was fine. Memory was probably like my least favorite, and then Ice Cream Bus was good. So yeah, very solid. Loved it. Thought it was great. Should I give it a 5-star, actually? Here's me saying so many good things about it and then I'm like 4.5, but for why? I mean, obviously, like, there was maybe a story or two that lowered the average a little bit, but overall, there's no reason not to give it a 5. I'm just gonna give it a 5. Maybe I'm being too generous here, and I'm just handing out 5s like it's no one's business. But no, I think 5, actually. 5, yeah. That's 2 5-stars in this Emboss Talks vlog. And that's because I'm not being a hard ass about the 5 stars. I need to stop being hard to please, essentially. If I really enjoy it, and I want to keep it forever, it should be a 5. So yeah, I'm just going to change it to a 5. Getting embossed either way. Now let's do our next spin. I am hoping upon hope that I do have an audiobook just so I can finish the LEGO Hocus Pocus Cottage. I really want to finish that today, okay? And an audiobook would help. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6. Did I do this yesterday? 7. Okay. Let's spin that wheel. Ooh, okay. Echo by Thomas Olde Heuvelt. I will find out how to pronounce his name. But Echo, okay, that sounds reasonable. I've had that on my TBR, I want to say like 3 or 4 years at this point. It's been a little while, actually. It's been a little while. And I've heard of Hex by the same author as well, that I have had my eye on, but I haven't bought it yet. So I'll read Echo first and then see if we want to continue with the Thomas Olde Heuvelt stories. Let's see if Libby has it. Let's see, please, Libby, come through. Come through, my love. It's on Spotify, which means I don't have to pay for it. Oh my god, amazing. Yes, Echo from the author of Hex. Spotify coming through. I'll just put that on like 2 times speed because, you know, I will be paying attention because obviously doing Lego and listening to an audiobook is just like one of my favorite ways of reading at the minute. And I don't want to go too fast. I know like 2 times speed sounds fast, but like it could be faster if I was reading physically. I'm just saying. But I'm slowing it down to do the Lego so I can still pay attention because my brain goes a lot faster than that sometimes. So this is Echo. Love the cover so much. Love the sound of it too. So it follows Nick and he wakes up after some kind of like mountaineering accident and he says he can't remember anything. However, he does. He remembers everything. And his mountain climbing partner has gone missing. And I believe him and his mountain partner were like drawn to this like really remote Swiss Alps kind of area. And he remembers that something was waiting for them when they got there. So I think this might be a story in flashbacks. Maybe it's going back in time to tell you exactly what happened in these Swiss Alps. But it sounds really atmospheric, kind of just what I fancy right now too. So fortunately, we have the audiobook to go along with this on Spotify. And let's see how much progress I make with my LEGO Hocus Pocus today too. If I don't finish the LEGO Hocus Pocus Cottage when listening to the audiobook for this, we will do another book after. I think this vlog will not end until I finish my LEGO Hocus Pocus Cottage. Because I think this is now, like, I've got this stack of books here. I think this is now book number 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be book number 7 for episode 7. And we did 7 shuffles, 7 spins. 7 is just the magic number. All right, I've just started the audiobook for Echo, right? And I'm about to make my coffee and everything. And, you know, I'm ready to get buckled down and do my Lego. And, like, at the start of this book, right, it says that each of these chapter titles are referring to classic Gothic novels in stories. And I'm looking at my physical copy and, like, I don't have those chapter titles. Oh, okay, actually, further on the parts are, like, the turn of the screen. Okay, further on the parts are. But, like, this isn't a mistake of mine. My hardback copy of this, my physical copy of this, does not have the prologue. So as I prologue Something Wicked This Way Comes, this book does not have a prologue. So I'm like, is this a mistake? This is the UK hardback. I think it's like a first edition. I think it just came out. But it's literally, I'm listening to it right now. It says prologue, Something Wicked This Way Comes, 2019. English translation, copyright 2021. So yeah, I think I got this like 4 years ago. My physical copy does not have the prologue. So, I'm glad I'm listening to the audiobook now because my copy is missing pages.
You're just a target in a room full of people trying to sell a dream. Got what you wanted, but money fade fast like a summer fling. Was it worth it? The petty fees flew overseas. They made you believe in stolen dreams from someone else's fears. If you think about it, forgot how to breathe. Now the weather's clear, and my dear, standing face to face with the mirror, like it's zero. No one's gonna pick you up. Don't need a mask or a hero, like it's zero, but this ain't where it's like an empire, building towers and breaking heights. You wanted to be her, well, guess what? You're what you never had. They made you believe in stolen dreams, someone else's fears. If you think about it, you learn how to breathe, and now the weather's clear, my dear. Standing face to face with the mirror, like it's zero, no one's gonna pick you up. Don't need
Hey, I finished. I finished the house. And it was so much fun. I loved it. I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so you can see. But yeah, we got Danny, Max, and Allison. And then over here we have the Sanderson sisters. Oh god, if my camera can focus. Girl. Yeah, I love them. I love them so much. And then, of course, the creme de la creme, which is the house, which I think has turned out really well. I freaking love it. I think probably one of the most fun Legos that I've done, to be honest. It just looks so good. My intrusive thoughts are telling me to drop it. Just turning it, yeah. Obviously not like the best lighting and stuff in here, but yeah, I've been in the kitchen for the last 2 days making this. You can just open it up, take a little gander inside, which is so cool. And I think you can also lift the roof up as well, so you can have a look inside. I'm gonna be in the way. Very cool. And then just lift it back down. So fun. Loved it so much. Don't think there's anything more to show you with it though. Now just need to figure out where to put it. Okay, it actually wasn't hard to find a place to put it. I put it next to Nightmare Before Christmas and The Shire above my films and TV shows. So I actually think this is a really cool place to put it. And I love how it fits with Nightmare Before Christmas because both of these are like two of my favorite Halloween movies ever. You know what I mean? Like, I also consider Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas film, but I also consider it a Halloween film. And they came out the same year. I believe Hocus Pocus was made to come out in July of 1993 because Nightmare Before Christmas was coming out in October 1993. So Hocus Pocus was made to be released in the summer, so it didn't do very well in the box office. And that is partly Nightmare Before Christmas's fault. Fun fact. But both films are iconic. I love both of them. Hocus Pocus is one of my favorite films of all time. Seriously, so I do love that it is here on top of my shelf. And I think it looks great there. I love it. Oh my god, I love it so much. I love it so freaking much. You have no idea. It is so late now, but I have also finished Echo, and I wasn't the biggest fan. I know I only listened to this via audiobook, but I promise you I was locked in. I was just so bored. I was so very bored for most of it. This is gay, which I did really appreciate. So we do kind of shift POV a little bit. We do have Nick. He was the one who goes on the mountain and his friend died in the mountain. We're trying to figure out what happened. There was an accident. Nick is now in hospital and we see like how different Nick is now through Sam. So Sam is Nick's boyfriend and he is also like a main POV character. And Sam, to begin with, I wasn't the biggest fan of. He seemed very superficial, but at the same time, he's in a very awkward position. He's in a very hard position. So I did have to sympathize and realize that, yeah, his situation is really tricky. But yeah, he came across as like rather superficial to begin with and rather unlikable. I did start to like him as the book went on, and especially when things started getting pretty scary with Nick. And that's where a lot of the horror comes from as well, is like seeing your partner change before your eyes and not really being able to do anything about it and not even understanding what is happening either. Like, that sounds terrifying to me. I mean, I've never had a partner, period, but I've never had a partner go up a mountain and come back changed. But what I do love about this is the feeling of, you know, like mountain climbing, I am a little bit scared of, so it kind of tapped into that fear. You know how We Sold Our Souls had that fear of caves? This one kind of highlighted my fear of mountains and the kind of like sickness you would go through, like the, what is that, like the altitude sickness, and you know, things like that do really scare me, as well as like the prospect of falling. So while We Sold Our Souls had moments where it kind of tapped into my claustrophobia, this one tapped into like my fear of heights and that feeling of being on a mountain. I don't think I would ever climb a mountain. I mean, I kind of did in Norway. We did do a hike in the rain. It was miserable. It's like one of the worst things I've ever done. I would never do it again. I mean, I probably would under the right conditions, but it was raining. It was miserable. I couldn't eat. I could barely see because the rain was that hard. But yeah, I didn't love that experience. But that's obviously nowhere near as like tall as like the Alps and things. So yeah, I definitely don't think I would do this. I mean, there's a niggling part of me that's like, but you know, you're only young once. You know, imagine if you ever climbed Everest. Like, how amazing would that be? And I'm like, yeah, it does sound amazing, but the experience itself would not be. I mean, do you know how many people die on Everest? And they just like leave the bodies and things? I couldn't do that. I could not do that. But yeah, this kind of tapped into that fear as well. Just like how, you know, the whole Nutty Putty Cave thing in We Sold Our Souls kind of tapped into that too. So I did like that. Like, some of the atmosphere was good, but because a lot of this is told in first person and like there's a lot of accounting from Nick as we are like going through his memories, it just didn't really come across as atmospheric as I would have liked. Good writing though, like solid writing. I can't fault it too much. I feel like my expectations were just a little bit different and they weren't quite met during this. So I would give this a 2-star and I will most likely toss this as well. I don't think I want to keep this on my shelves. Even if I do end up reading Hex and loving that, I don't think I would need to keep all of the author's works on my shelves. But I genuinely do think this has been on my TBR for 4 years. So it's really nice to get it knocked off. Oh yeah, I also did really like the fact that the sections were split up and we had, you know, sections called like Wuthering Heights. There was one called Sleepy Hollow as well, and I'm going to Sleepy Hollow like next week actually. Is it this time next week? Oh my god. Anything else to say about it? Just that I need more LGBTQ plus fiction in my life, honestly. I think that's kind of the final thing I have to say about it. Good story, but in my opinion a lackluster execution. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I'm very glad to have tried this author's book, and I definitely do want to try Hex. Shout out to my Hex. So I do think I'm going to leave Emboss or Toss episode 7 there, because I did get 7 books off my TBR for the 7th episode, doing 7 spins and 7 shuffle. You know what I mean? Like all of this, that, and the other. Love the number 7. That is the theme. So I do think I'm going to end it here. So just a little wrap up of the books I read / DNF'd in this video. So Last Leave the Room, I did DNF and it is getting tossed. The Twisted Ones, I have embossed. Horns, I have embossed. We Sold Our Souls, I have embossed. Hell House, getting tossed. Allie is embossed and Echo is getting tossed. I mean, to be fair, 4 out of 7 of these are getting embossed, which is the majority of the books in this video. So I'm very happy about that, as well as 7 books just being off my TBR in general. So I do think that was a successful Emboss or Toss episode. And I also hope that it was a really good Vlogs of Halloween video for you as well. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Let me know if you read any of the books that I read in this episode. Did you agree with anything I said? Disagreed with anything I said? Please let me know down below, and let's chat all things, all of the books that I read in this video. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.